Honorable colleagues, I have examined and approved the votes and proceedings of Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. Honorable colleagues, we have students from Jewel's Leading Light Academy who came to observe proceedings today at the gallery. Can they rise for recognition? Let's welcome them with an applause. Welcome to the People's House. Feel free to observe our proceedings. You all are looking great. You may now have your seat. Thank you. We also have 15 youth corpers from the constituency of Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekwusigo Federal Constituency, Anambra State, who have been invited by
My
Honorable
distinguished
Peter.
honorable colleagues, the House is in session, please. House in session already, please. Hello, sirs. Hello, sirs. Honorable members, Honorable Ajilo, House in session already, please. Please, please.
We have 15 youth corpers from the constituency of Honorable Peter Ifanyo Zokwe, MHR, which is Nnewi North, Nnewi South, Ekwusigo Federal Constituency, who have been invited by Honorable Peter Ifanyo Zokwe to observe proceeding. They are the gallery. Shall we welcome them with an applause? You are welcome to the Parliament. Feel free to observe our proceedings and thank you for serving our nation. You may now have your seat. We also have the following people, of Honorable Ikagwonu Onyinye Ugochinyere, Ikenga Imo. They are as follows: Barrister Uche Nnamdi, Honorable Enes Njesi, and Barrister Anderson Achilike. They are here to observe proceedings. Are they in the room? They are yet to arrive. We have another announcement that is coming from Honorable Godwin of Fiono, Esquire, a member, House of Representatives, Ogoja Yala Federal Constituency. letter of resignation from the People's Democratic Party. I write to formally inform you and my honorable secretary and the opportunities enjoyed during my period of service. It has become clear that the present structure cannot support my commitment to effective representation and the advancement of my political aspiration for the good people of Ogoja, Yala, Federal Constituency, and Nigeria at large. Please accept the assurances of my highest regard. Is Honorable Godwin Ofiono here? Leader, you move that the House suspend our rules to grant permission for the senators who are accompanying him to be allowed into the chamber.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. And dear colleagues, Professor Julius Ihonvere, of One Federal Constituency, Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that we suspend sections of our rules in order to admit into the chambers some of our colleagues from the Senate and other important dignitaries. I so move.
Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion that we allow, in line with our rules, our colleagues from the red chambers and the green chambers. I so second.
The motion has been moved and this has been seconded. Those in support of this motion that will grant admittance to the people who are coming to support Godwin Ofiono, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. If they are around, they should be escorted in. Godwin Ofiono, are you here? Yeah. Chief Whip, please, if they are around, work with Godwin to bring them in. Godwin, you are welcome to the party. And when you have the time, you come and have a handshake with the chair. When your guests are here. Thank you. Honorable colleagues, we want to thank you for how we went about the conversation yesterday about the all-important issue in our country, which is security. We are continuing today, like the Speaker promised yesterday. Okay, I think we should pause to receive Ofiono. Ofiono? Ofiono is not ready. Let's proceed with our debate. Ofiono, we are on continuing our debate. If you want your senator to come and have a handshake with you, you better do it now, because once we enter into debate, you won't have the opportunity of doing it again. I can see they are not house positions, like the Speaker said yesterday. Every opinion expressed here, they should not be misinterpreted by the press as the position of the House. The position of the House will come at the end of this engagement, when we will summarize all inputs and come out with a document. I say this because we have seen a lot of narratives out there from our conversation yesterday. Please let us be well guided, especially those who are outside this chamber, that this is personal opinion, not the position of the House. Thank you very much. We are going to be starting this morning with the zonal leaders. But before we do that, throughout yesterday, I did not hear any woman speak. We will allow the chairman, Women Affairs, to hear the voice of women with regards to this issue, and after that, those who will speak in this order are as follows. Honorable Sada Solly will be speaking for Northwest. Honorable Kumo is not here. He's supposed to speak for Northeast, so Northeast have to give us the caucus leader that will speak on their behalf. For North Central, Right Honorable Wase will be speaking to us. And for Southwest, Honorable Isiaka will be speaking to us. For the Southeast, Honorable Igariwe will be speaking to us. And for South-South, Honorable Agbedi will be addressing us. When we are done with that, we'll now go to the list that you submitted, and we'll follow it in the order of the submission. We are giving 5 minutes. Please, maximum of 5 minutes. You can finish in 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Please focus on the solution so that you can manage your time well. The floor is now yours, Honorable Kafilas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, my name is Kafila Togbara. I represent Koshofe Federal Constituency, and I'm from Lagos State, the Center of Excellence. Mr. Speaker, my heart bleeds as I rise this morning with deep sense of responsibility for all Nigerians and, of course, especially our women and children. I rise not just as a member of this hallowed chamber, but as a mother, a woman, and the chairperson of the House Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development. Yesterday, one of our leaders in his presentation asked, are we going to wait until our children are kidnapped? And I asked myself, the children that were kidnapped are, of course, our children. And we have to see that any Nigerian killed, caused injury, or traumatized is our own because we represent them. The reality we confront today is not a distant episode in our national conversation. It is a deep and bleeding wound in the lives of our children, our families, and our communities. And I term the Papiri and Kamba abductions as a national tragedy. We are facing severe insecurity crises with widespread kidnapping and banditry.
Absolute silence, please.
When people
Silence,
go into communities
please.
to kill them, to traumatize them, this is nothing but terror. Let me be clear, these are not mere security failures. They are breaches of the most fundamental duties of the state, which is the security of lives and properties. And like I have always asked when we have security issues, we need our governors to do more. The president cannot be everywhere. He cannot be in Sokoto, he cannot be in Zamfara, he cannot be in Ogun State. He cannot even be in Lagos State, his own state. We need our governors to do more. And this is the right time for us as a house to legislate on the right legal framework on our state policing. As politicians, we say every politics is local. For me, I may not be a security expert, but I know that every security is local. We need a security situation where our security operatives will be communicado, where Nigerians can call any security operative at any hour of the day, and they are sure to get the right response. And of course, an interactive one at that. When we have that, that is when we have the right policing. In normal climes, you find out that citizens police themselves. When you see something, you say something, you act and you do something. This is the only way we can have the right security network in this country. And I want to commend Mr. President for his empathy as a father and as a leader, his sacrifice in ensuring that the Kebbi girls are brought back. I want to also congratulate the families and the girls that got the escape. But I want to say that the brief relief felt by the families of those that escaped is overshadowed by the agony of those still waiting for a knock on the door, for a phone call, for any sign of hope. We have seen the children. Where are the kidnappers? Nigerians are asking. We have seen the children. Where are the kidnappers? We need to know. This crisis demands our urgent attention because children are used as deliberate targets. Schools that are once safe havens have become tragic targets. Heightened vulnerability for our women and children who face kidnapping, violence, exploitation, displacement, and psychological trauma. Mothers and female educators bear emotional and economic burdens, community disruption, and I must say that this trauma lasts a lifetime sometimes. We have to avoid this. Lifelong psychological harm. Children who escape captivity or witness violence often experience long-time trauma, insomnia, anxiety, nightmare, and withdrawal. I urge this honorable House to adopt the following gender-sensitive security-focused measures. 1, we should establish a national safe schools protection framework, mandatory deployment of security teams to high-risk boarding schools, and also reinforce dormitories, night surveillance, panic alert systems, invest in early warning infrastructure, cameras, sensors, and secure communication links with law enforcement agencies. We should launch a national recovery and reintegration program, a dedicated federal rescue and rehabilitation fund for abducted and recovered children and staff. Access to medical care. We are faced with our soldiers at the front line having issues of medical care. They are not getting the right medical attention in time. This is an emergency that we must rise up to. We must empower and protect women educators, security and emergency response training for teachers, particularly women in high-risk locations. I want to also salute the courage of our soldiers on the field.
Honorable Kafila, please
for their sacrifice, their commitment, for laying down their lives for this country. A lot of us have our children wanting to be medical doctors, wanting to be lawyers and all that. These are people who have laid down their lives to sacrifice for this country. We must commend them, salute them. Thank you very much. Nigeria appreciates you. And I think Nigeria as a nation needs to do more for these people in terms of their welfare, for them and their families. Now we are looking to recruit more people. How many of our graduates wants to go there? Because the incentives are not enough. The welfare mechanism is not enough. We need to do more in this regard. And as representatives of the people, we must remember that Nigeria belongs to all of us. We must put in our very best to ensure that in our own little space, we secure our various communities because we represent Nigeria. Let's continue to put Nigeria first and ensure that Nigeria gets to our desired destination. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, respected colleagues.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll make effort to remain within that 5 minutes so that other members, because the list is much, other members will be able to, get a chance to speak. Please, 5 minutes is 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes. We can summarize the real intervention.
My name is Sada Soli, representing Kaita Federal Constituency. I'm the leader, Northwest Caucus of the House, by the decision of the leadership and by the support of my 92 members of the caucus. Mr. Speaker, let me re-echo what Honorable Kafilat said in response to the efforts of our gallant security men, especially in the armed forces, the DSS, the police, the civil defense, for their unwavering dedication, commitment to keep us safe, even at instances where a number of them lose their lives. Let me commend their sacrifice. It's a sacrifice that demands and requires the sympathy, the support of every member of this country. Mr. Speaker, I'm speaking for Northwest. Northwest security challenges trajectory. Mr. Speaker, Northwestern Nigeria security landscape is deeply a complex one and very multidimensional. The challenges are not just criminal, but structural, rooted in environmental stress, weak governance, and economic marginalization. Tackling this threat demands a holistic strategy that combines security operations with social, economic, and environmental interventions. Mr. Speaker, a purely military or kinetic response won't be sufficient in order to address this issue in the Northwest. The long-term stability will require building trust in state institutions. We must build trust in our state institutions.
Order, please. Please disband that temporary conference. Please, sirs. Please.
Mr. Speaker, we must make efforts to reform land and livestock governance, addressing climate response and pressure, and ensuring that affected communities are meaningfully taken part in providing solution to our security threats. Once the communities that are affected are not taken meaningfully in the course of providing solution, forget it. We will not get where we want to get there. Mr. Speaker, what are these major security threats that are bedeviling the Northwest? There are basically three. banditry and kidnapping, farmer-herder, that is pastoralist conflict, and cattle rustling and organized crime. These are the complex three crises in the Northwest. Mr. Speaker, the security challenges in Northwest started through farmer-herder clashes, cattle rustling, which have become a more organized, then transmuted into a criminal enterprise. Rustlers operate from forested areas, e.g. Dajin Rugu forest, which cut across Kaduna State, Katsina State, Zamfara State, and Sokoto State. You can see how complex nature it is. So a criminal can start traversing from Kaduna State and he will end up in Sokoto State without being noticed because the forest is thick and they are connected. As well as the impact of Binungwari forest, which started from Kaduna and ended up in some part of Kebbi State. What are these concerns? What are our concerns? Mr. Speaker, there is a limited trust in state mechanisms in many localities. There's a limited trust in our communities in state mechanism in our localities. There is traditional conflict resolution frameworks. They have been weakened. The traditional conflict mechanism resolutions, they have been deeply and worstly weakened. And state capacity to enforce security or mediate is often very stretched, resulting to lack of local legitimacy. Some of our local authorities, they have lost their legitimacy, as well as broken down social cohesion in communities. How do social cohesion is broken down in our communities? Because they have been displaced. Possible escalation, ethnic and religious distrust, displacements of feedback loop are all issues of concern if we want to address these issues. Mr. Speaker, may I request 1 more minute, Mr. Speaker? 1 more minute, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm just looking at the challenges.
The timepiece of the Deputy Chief Whip is different from my own.
Thank you.
By 1
Mr.
minute.
Speaker, Mr. Speaker,
But
the challenges in addressing these issues. Weak enforcement of reforms and policy directives. I'm happy now the federal government is trying to set up a transition that will make us forward in getting out of this open grazing. If federal government can fashion out a good transition that we can exit us and get into ranching, that will be a fantastic effort. Open grazing laws in some part of the north and ranching are not uniformly enforced. This is also another challenge. There is political resistance in these laws. We must look at that. There's arms control difficulty. It's difficult to control arms in this locality, particularly in the Northwest. Why? Because of proliferation of arms in the remote forested areas is logistically very, very difficult, extremely difficult. So we must look at that. Then coordination problems. Social, developmental, and humanitarian actors that are trying to render help are often operate in difficulties.
Yeah, the 1 minute is over. I think the Deputy Chief Whip is biased. But I always enjoy listening to you, Honorable Sado. Very sound contribution. Honestly, very sound. Thank you very much. The next floor is for Northeast. And Honorable Betara, the floor is yours.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Mukhtar Betara Liu. I represent the good people of Biu, Bayo, Kwayakusar Shani, Federal Constituency. I'm from Borno State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, I represent the Northeast. I'm from Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Bauchi, Gombe, and Taraba. We have remained the epic center of the insurgency, terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping, and communal violence. Allow me to briefly highlight the example from each 6 states. In Borno, the heart of the conflict, we witnessed the Baga massacre in 2015, where hundreds of our students are killed. In Dalori 2016 attack, which claimed over 100 lives of suicide bombers. In 2024, Goza triple suicide bombing. And in January 2025, the Damboa attack, where we lost our military officers and the insurgencies from the recurring EIDs explosion along Ran, Gamboru, and killing civilians. Mr. Speaker, let me come on and give you a brief of these security issues. I was chairman Army, I was chairman Defense, and I was chairman Appropriations. During my time as chairman Army, we had a lot of observations, especially with our funding of our military and the defense at that time. When you look at the defense budget, generally the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, and the police, it has a larger amounts. Like now in the 2025, we have over 1.something trillion. But the armed forces budget is only recurrent. There is nothing in the capital. With a budget of 1.something trillion, especially 1.2 trillion, the recurrent is 900 billion. That means we are not doing the budget. During my time in the 9th Assembly, Mr. Speaker, the police had no operational account from inception. They depend on state governors. It was in 2019, the chairman the police, that's Kumo, and the chairman in the Senate, we sat together. So we met with the Minister of Finance and opening up an operational account for the police. If our police will depend on state governors, how do we have them to operate very well? And again, Mr. Speaker, when I was in the appropriation again, I had some observations. This is our budgetary system where we only bring in budget and sign in budget back to the president. It doesn't tally well. In 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, most of our colleagues that chaired security committees understand the work we did there. There are a lot of monies in our service-wide vote that are kept for those security services. In the appropriation committee, we have to report to the president that, Mr. President, keeping monies in service-wide vote for the security services does not tally well with our oversight function. So we decided to pull out those funds directly and give the security agencies under their own capital. Because we observed during that time, the Army had a budget of 900 billion with just 100 billion capital. What do you buy with 100 billion capital? Nothing. Again, Mr. Speaker, we have to understand the military procurement. Military procurements, there are issues. During our oversights, when we're in defense, we have traveled with some of our colleagues to produce an armored tank. One armored tank take about 2 months. You don't just go on the shelf and buy an armored tank or MRAP. So, Mr. Speaker, you as our leader, I remember the last time we visited our president, his emphasis was the military welfare. He even cited an example for us that he went to Ikeja Barrack personally, not officially, to his surprise, they don't even have toilet. So he decided to set up a committee to go around the nation for the establishment or refurbishment of our barracks and build staff quarters for our officers and soldiers. And equally, he said he has directed them to review the armed forces and the police salary. And I think he's thinking of taking up from 200 to 300%, you can remember, during our visit. So, Mr. Speaker, for us in our states, if all these things are done, I think the Nigerian security challenges might go down. And in the conclusion, Mr. Speaker, I said, Nigerian security challenges may be vast, but they cannot be there with strategic planning, coordinated action, and wearing political commitment. We can stop and spread violence, restore public confidence, stop spread of violence.
Honorable Betara, bring the mic closer.
Huh?
The mic is facing somewhere so that we can record.
Safeguard the unity and stability of our nation. This special session provides us with not just opportunity, but a responsibility to chart a bold new direction, sir. The Nigerian people are waiting. Communities across the Northeast, the nations are watching. History will remember us today, what we have chosen to do today in this chamber. Let us rise for a moment together and help and secure the nation. That is our submission.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Former Chairman Army, former Chairman Appropriation, former Chairman Defense, speaking from the point of knowledge, point of experience. Honorable Ugochinyere, off the phone, the mic in front of you, please. Thank you for sharing. And also thank you for reminding me the recent interventions of Mr. President. You forgot to mention also during that meeting, he inaugurated a committee chaired by Enugu State Governor to go around the barracks of the police to make sure that we equip them better and make training stations for the police across the country to be more robust. Thank you for reminding me that. The next to speak is the former Deputy Speaker of this Assembly, that is the 9th Assembly. The previous Assembly, 9th Assembly, my predecessor, our own leader, Right Honorable Idris Ahmed Wase. He'll be speaking on behalf of North Central. The floor is yours, sir.
Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, my name is Ahmed Idris, representing Wasai Federal Constituency, by the grace of God and by the leadership.
Honorable Maki, please step into the Chief Whip space until his back. Okay, no, he will sit around you.
Leader of the North Central.
No, go and come back. He will sit around you.
And by the grace of God, I'll be speaking on behalf of the North Central. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I want to appreciate the leadership for this gesture and wisdom to bring us together to put a special day for us to discuss the security situation in our country. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, North Central, the main and the real area where 52% of the insecurity and insurgency in this country is taking place. The Speaker, respected colleagues, our people are dying, our people have been displaced, both those who are in the military and those who are in the armed forces and those who are at home. The Speaker, respected colleagues, I want to say that there is every need for us to review what is actually taking place. Today, Nigeria takes 52% of the criminality in terms of insurgency and whatever within the West African region. And like I did mention, more than 50% of it is within the North Central of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, what is happening has to do a lot with criminality. And I want to disagree with those who are bringing religious inkling into it. In every of these enclaves, Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, you find Muslims, you find Christians, you find pagans, the ones that I know through operation that have been caught. And I know that people are dying and people are being killed. Yes, if you go to Wase, the majority of the people that are being killed are Muslims. How do you define that? Eliminating Muslims? If you get to possibly Bokos, maybe the much number of people that are being killed are Christians. You define that as being genocide. This is where I want to say and bring the attention of all those. I watched program yesterday and I saw the person on channel insisting that this has to do with genocide of Christians. And I said no. And I said no to it. It just has to do with criminality, and we must brand it as criminality. Otherwise, that division of religion will continue to have effect on us. And before we know it, we cannot tackle and issue and deal with the problem effectively. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, as I'm speaking to you, within the armed forces, I once spoke here. I lost one of the most gallant Nigerian soldiers, my cousin, Colonel Bako, in the course of this. I lost my younger brother, same mother, in Bama. And today I will say, without missing words, that even as we try to solve issues, the vigilantes and those who volunteered, just 2 weeks ago, I lost my nephew. So I know what it means, and I speak with pains. Let not the political aspect of what people are trying to divide, the little gain we are having in terms of democratic dividends, be scuttled by those who do not want democracy to strive. And so they're doing everything to ensure that we do not have peace. And Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I want to say that and bring the attention of this parliament. This is one other area we must settle. The issue of indigenous citizenship is one very key area that is dividing this country. Most of us here, those who are privileged to travel to America, I don't want to call their names, will have their wives pregnant, and they will carry their wives to America. Within 6 months, they will give birth there, and they will have citizenship of America or Britain. But here in Nigeria, you will have somebody who is born, bred, his grandfather, and at the end of the day, you say, no, he's an indigenous of that place. I mean, it's funny. And I think this is one key area that is dividing us, that is causing problem, that we must solve this problem constitutionally if we mean well for this country. Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, I want to also plead that the issue of policing and other security recruitment, like my brother Maki mentioned yesterday, diligence have to be carried. We have had situation, my brother, former chairman defense, and my very good friend, Betera, will bear me witness. There were moments in time when, in the process of recruitment, Boko Haram were found in the list. Other criminals, armed robbers gangs were found in the list of Nigerian army and police. There has to be a thorough way of ensuring that when we're recruiting, those of us that are politicians and recommending, should recommend people of good character and integrity. That's the only way we can resolve this problem and solve this problem. And I want to also allude to the fact that, maybe bring one example. The former SGF of Nigeria once was in an airport, and he saw somebody that he knew as an armed robber wearing Nigerian uniform. He ordered for his arrest immediately. These are part of the problem that we're being faced with. You find a criminal in the system, and before you know it, whatever you do, you cannot have the problem resolved. So we must change the system and way of our recruitment. Yes, as politicians, it's good to recommend. This is what we are here for. But when you are recommend people of integrity, people that will have minimum standard and ensure that we give the best services to our country. The number of policing is far below the UN recommended position. And the quick example I will give, Mr. Speaker, and respected colleagues, that in a very small country called Egypt, where the number is not up to 100.
We can wait for you to get it.
100 million.
Look for it.
You have recruitment of police officers more than 1 million. Or 5 million, sorry, 5 million. Here in Nigeria, you go to communities, you traverse more than 30, 40 kilometers. You cannot get even a police station to report an issue. This one has to be done immediately if we mean to solve this problem. And I was thinking about Mr. Speaker. I appreciate the effort, Mr. President. I appreciate his concern. This is one other institution that people are saying. Withdraw VIPs. It's not about the VIPs. When you give criminals police to guard them, this is where I thought we should have reason. The withdrawal that the order that has been given, I think, if we are not careful, there will be more now, because I watched a film of a video of one of the kidnappers or bandits boasting that they are going to get the head of the Mr. President. They are going after politicians, and they are going after, and these people are all repentant. Mr. Speaker, respect colleagues, I want to say that without missing words, that those of us from the north here and the north central, the heat is more than what you can think of. There is no politician or person of public office that has integrity, that is not contributing. It's not about the money getting from state and local. No, including our pockets. We have to support the system so that we will have peace in our society. But the peace is not yet gotten, and it's far from it. So I want to appeal that order, there's need to review that order. It's a good order, but the categorization has to be spelled out, because before you know it, this house will again come back faced with the same problem of kidnapping and whatever you have it. I don't think there's anybody that will say, I can travel with my eyes open between here and Jos. Once it is 6 p.m. to get to Kefi, I'm scared because I know what is happening. Kidnapping happens virtually every day. Mr. Speaker, respect colleagues, in 1 year alone, bandits collect ransom of about 5 billion naira. This is fantastic. 5 billion. And in 1 year alone, 30 facilities were recorded in terms of death, killing within our own society. In 1 year alone, sir, in 1 year alone, or within the Boko Haram threshold, what we lost is more than 30,000 people that are killed on the process of this banditry and whatever. Mr. Speaker, respect colleagues, the issue before us is more than what possibly we are looking. The gravity of it is so endemic that I think and I pray that at the end of this, it will not be one of these rituals that will come, speak, document, and nothing will take place. My prayer is that we'll look into it holistically. That as we did mention, we need to go and have some work. And even when it comes to religious, sir, the budget we made last year, almost 30% of the budget, almost 30% is supposed to be for security. If there are releases and there are proper execution of what was supposed to, I think we might have some problem. I want to believe that there's need to scrutinize this budget. And I'm also recommending, sir, apart from what we are doing, that there's need to call the service chiefs for us to go into executive session, discuss this matter, because not all the things we are supposed to say can be said outside. There is need for the House to call the service chief. There's need for the House leadership after this one to interfere with the Mr. President to ensure our recommendations do not go. Do not forget, sir, in the 9th Assembly we had security summit. Recommendations were made, but what has come out of it? Nothing. Mr. Speaker, respectfully, the number of people we have lost in terms of senior personnel, even during the civil war, we do not miss our men of the services in that country. The last is about the issue of synergy. What happened in Kebbi is almost the same thing everywhere. And I want to recall to the Parliament that the Department of State Security Service are always up to their own responsibility. And I do not miss that word. They are always up to responsibility. The example was before the attack of Kuje prison, there was a report. Those who are supposed to implement neglected. The same thing happened now in Kebbi. There was a report, and the security council meeting was held at the state. At the end of the day, there was a directive, but an hour before the bandits struck in, the people on ground withdrew. This is one other area that we must look into. There must be synergy, there must be collaboration between all our security agencies. Otherwise, it is going to be exercise in futility. And I have never seen a country like ours, where you neglect the advice of your own intelligence. It's important that we take them serious. It's important. As far as I'm concerned, if we are taking the security intelligence reports seriously, the crisis in Plateau State and other places may not have taken place. The last is about our judicial system. Why will you arrest somebody with criminality, keep him, and he'll be there for 1, 2, 3 years, 10 years? There is no judgment. This we also have to look at. Is it about the laws? Is it about the provision in the Constitution? This is an area that we need to amend. Sir, I do not believe that we need to negotiate with criminals. I do not believe that there's need to allow those criminals outside for what is being done. We are seeing. Why will criminals come to town to a wedding with guns in convoy, and we have the security in this country? They cannot track them. I watched with nostalgia again a small boy of not more than 10 years from Zamfara Sokoto who visited Bello Turji in his own enclave. The boy said he survived by leg to reach out to him, that he wanted to be in his own gang. Came back. From that story alone is sufficient if we are serious and we are serious to use that boy to track and get to where those people are. I believe some people are benefiting, and that's why they don't want this matter to end. If they are not benefiting, why are we not? We have excelled. We have done exceedingly well as far as the Nigerian Armed Forces is concerned. We have gone to Liberia and other countries, done well, come back to this country. I can tell you for free, sir, before my cousin was killed, he came to me to say, I want to work, but they want to kill me. Help me transfer. My colleagues will bear with those who are in that formation. Help me transfer out of that place. There's nobody in Yobe and Borno that does not know, and that's why I want to thank Governor Zulum. He is somebody that is doing well. After his death, he has maintained the family, bought the house for the family, doing a lot for the family. There are very few who care about that. I said, I can tell you for free, sir. When he told me this, I said, my brother, take it as a call. He said, no, I want to do the work. This is what I subscribe to do. But they will kill me because there is sabotage. They send me on an errand to do the job. On return, they asked him to go back again. And on his way, he was ambushed and he was killed. My younger brother that I mentioned came to me to say, transfer me, my sino. I want to leave this place. I said, I won't do that. Those who don't have people of authority like me, what is their own position? He said, I want to do that. I've been to Liberia. I've been to other places. But these people will kill me because they are not supporting us. There's no equipment.
Okay.
Barely 1 month after, they kill him. The wife of this person, this is what I want to tell you, sir, came to me crying, don't make me a widow. They will kill your brother. I am saying that serious collaboration and gap even within the system. And this one have to be looked into. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, respected colleagues. I pray that God will continue to grant you the wisdom and the wisdom of Solomon to lead our country right. Thank you, sir. I so submit.
Thank you very much. As the former presiding officer of this house, we extended your time as a mark of respect because you once sat here, and we sympathize with you for the losses, and I'm sure there are so many in this room that have lost one person or the other across the nation. We raise issues that are topical and we are noting them. Thank you very much. Please, the next to speak is the Deputy Chief Whip of the House, and he'll be speaking on behalf of the Southwest. Honorable Isiaka, the floor is yours. Now that you are the timekeeper and you are going to speak, what will happen to our time? I think I will ask the chair will regulate you. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, my and our own cerebral speaker of the Senate Assembly, the Deputy Speaker, sitting as Speaker. I would have asked actually that I should be privileged to have 3 sessions. The first 5 minutes as by your privilege, that of the House, member of the leadership. The second one as personal, that's private, and member of the floor. And then the third one would have been for the Southwest. But I have to consolidate all that and take it as a sacrifice. So let me not bemoan the House. On behalf of all my distinguished honorable colleagues from the Southwest extraction, I want to tell us that we are not speaking for the Southwest, but we are speaking for the entire Nigerians and, of course, the entire 6 geopolitical zones in the country. And all our honorable colleagues and our leaders from different geopolitical zones. My colleagues, they informed me to convey this to you, that this is not about the Southwest, it's about Nigeria as a whole. And first and foremost, we want to commend the Speaker, and of course through you, to convey this, for taking bold, decisive leadership, taking the bull by the horns in convening this plenary as a special security session. Mr. Speaker, the entire Southwest and all the other 5 regions in this House, we thank you wholeheartedly and honestly. This initiative comes at a critical chapter of Nigeria's security challenges and reflects a proactive solution-oriented approach aligned with the constitutional mandate to protect lives and property. Mr. Speaker, I'm Right Honorable Dr. Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka. I speak for the entire Nigerians, but my origin from Ifo Federal Constituency and from Ogun State, the Southwest extraction, and by your magnanimity and that of the other leadership and the House, I'm the Deputy Chief Whip of the House, and that of the acceptance of my honorable colleagues from the Southwest extraction and the other 5 geopolitical zones. Does this nation currently, are we facing a serious security challenge or challenges? Yes, undoubtedly. Unequivocal, no one is going to doubt that. Is the government of the day doing anything at all? Yes, it is. Is the National Assembly, both the House of Representatives and that of the Senate, doing anything at all? Yes. What about the judiciary? Yes, they are doing. What about our security apparatus, especially the military? We are acknowledging that they have even been overstretched. Yes, they are. It is not about the numbers, it is about the outcomes. The nation faces a confluence of threats: terrorism, banditry, insurgency, kidnapping, and criminal violence that undermine lives, livelihoods, and development. Our security agencies, defense forces, and allied institutions have shown professionalism and resilience, even at the expense of paying the supreme price under the spirit of nationalism and patriotism. So unfortunate. Many a time before now, hardly a day will pass that we will not stand for a minute silence, either for victims of violences across the country or perhaps some of our fallen heroes, those who have paid the rare supreme price, those who have been awakened all days long for all of us to sleep. The situation on ground, did it start today? No, we must admit. Should we take responsibilities as people in government today? Yes, we must admit. Because there is no matter of saying I inherited this. Yes, we got it and we have to confront it with all levels of tactical. In safety parlance, there are 3 strategies when a nation, an individual, even an organization is faced with risk as that of ours. It is about elimination, it's about mitigation and about control. Unfortunately, in the years past, we have unavoidably crossed the elimination stage. So unfortunate. Even the mitigation stage, we have crossed it. We are now faced with the control measure. So unfortunate, which is the third layer and third level of security risk. And that is why we are in this situation today. Distinguished honorable colleagues, leadership of the House, and the Speaker, I've talked about, on behalf of my honorable colleagues from the Southwest extraction, about what this House and National Assembly as a whole, the various legislations we have put in place, the laws that we have strengthened to make sure that at all best, many of the regulations guiding our security architectures are well guided, and then the progress we have made. The judiciary, of course, yes, let us not minding that there have been some kind of slow dispense of justice, whereby even some criminals have been kept. The justice took some time to be delivered for so long, and at the end of the day, the compromise had not been that of the judiciary, but of course, the legal system, it depends on who is defending and who sways and who comes out of it. Even the most hardened criminal, if he's able to get a very good lawyer, may go off the hook. So we are not going to deny that we have been facing this. And perhaps let me now tell us another background history, especially from the Southwest background, which is not limited. And of course, this cuts across all the spheres of our border system. In the Southwest, we have the Yewa axis that borders the Benin Republic. There are some of these are policies that we have not even reviewed up to today. In this country, there was a policy and still existing that, okay, we have 20 kilometers for those who are having filling stations. And many of these are our boys. It is only idle hands that devils has a very clean and good opportunity to use. These boys are using these filling stations to do their businesses. Oil and gas have been regulated, and till today we have not lifted that ban. So these boys are even ready to collaborate with bandits to hold sway in all these our borders. They can't do anything because their means of livelihood have been tampered and stopped. We need to review this, and I know I'm not talking about the Southwest, I'm not talking about Yewa alone. We have even the Niger, we have in the other Kebbi that has even less than 3 kilometers to Cameroon and to Niger Republic. So all these border areas, we need to review the relationship with our boys that are on these boundaries that they will be of helping hands when they have something to do. Then again, I want to further say that recently, just yesterday, just for us to know that this is not limited to only South, Northeast, North Central, there was a threat to the Federal Polytechnic of Ilaro just yesterday that bandits, they wrote a letter, they will be coming to attack the Federal Polytechnic in Ilaro. Historically, in the Southwest, and I stand to be corrected with all of my other colleagues, I grew up not to know between Christianity and Islam. I was born as a chief, under the chief imam of my place. My father was the chief imam. And as I speak with us today, Baptist Central School, where I graduated from my primary school, and United Comprehensive High School are both of missionary schools. Today we have Isiaka's house inside the church. Today we have Isiaka's house in United Comprehensive High School. So people now generalizing it to say that what is happening in Nigeria is about genocide against Christians. No. Yes, we have had and we have seen some pockets of violences here and there attributable to this. But should we admit that we have general problem? That is what we should, and not to escalate it to be saying that we have the issue of Christian-Muslim genocide, not to inflict pains that may become an everlasting one into the hearts of even our unborn children. We need to strengthen our borders management, arms control, and criminal justice responses to high-impact offenses. And finally, without taking much of the time, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues, we want to call for unity and shared humanity across Nigeria's diversity, irrespective of our religion, irrespective of our tribes, irrespective of where we come from. The security challenge does not have an ethnic or religious coloration. Family across the Southwest live in harmony, but that we should not take this as the yardstick across the country. So there must be a collective synergy to say, we are Nigeria, we are Nigerians, and we want to protect our sovereignty. We can only do that only when we come together and we see ourselves as one, and we don't allow anything to divide us. Going forward, our security architecture to be improved upon. Mr. Speaker, for want of time, I want to thank you very much for yielding the floor to the Southwest to air on behalf of my colleagues our views. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The next to speak is from Southeast, Honorable Egariwe. That will be followed by the speech of Honorable Agbedi. I hope he's in the house. After Honorable Egariwe, it will be for South Agbedi. But if he's not in the house, let me be communicated who will be standing in. The floor is yours now, Honorable Egariwe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, my name is Right Honorable Egariwe Iduma Enwo. I represent Afikpo and the federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, with respect, I wish to join my colleagues who spoke yesterday. I wish to join them in appreciating this idea from the leadership about a debate on the state of insecurity in our country. Mr. Speaker, there's an aspect of what the last speaker said, Right Honorable Isiaka, which I share, and that is that in as much as for the Southeast, virtually everything we'll discuss today about insecurity runs across our country. They are interconnected. So it is even very difficult to compartmentalize them into regions. They may rear their heads differently, but at the end of the day, they are interconnected. So that if I'm talking about banditry or insurgency or kidnapping or whatever name you call it in the Southeast, you'll find out that it has become a common denominator in the entire country. Mr. Speaker, my respected colleagues, the issue of insecurity in our country has been very, very well documented. In fact, I find it very difficult making a rehash of what my colleagues have said. It has been very, very well documented. There is hardly anything new anybody is going to say. We are not trying to reinvent the wheel in terms of how to tackle our security challenges. Mr. Speaker, let me draw our attention to just the last, the 9th Assembly. Mr. Speaker, this Honorable House picked about 40 of us and took us to the to NIA, National Intelligence Agency, where for 1 week, 7 clear days, we brainstormed on the causes of insecurity in this country and how to address them. Mr. Speaker, this House came out with a report, a resolution, and transmitted same to the executive. That was the last administration. Mr. Speaker, up till date, we do not have, I don't have any recollection that that administration did anything about our recommendations. Mr. Speaker, that brings me to the major problem. the core of the problem we have. It is implementation. Somebody once said that in policy, implementation is the graveyard of policy in Nigeria. We have all the beautiful ideas. My colleagues have all made all their recommendations, all their opinions, all their suggestions. But when it comes to implementation, that is where we have the problem. And that is why some people will tell you that where is the will to implement all these things we are saying. So, Mr. Speaker, I don't think there is anything new anybody is going to say in terms of insecurity or how we should combat it in this country. It is all well documented. What we should do is to make sure, is to, as much as possible, implore the executive arm. We don't implement these things. All our resolutions, there's hardly any week we don't have a plethora of resolutions on insecurity. What has happened to those resolutions? We are not expected to implement our resolutions. Our resolutions are our opinion, the opinion of the House. Just like you let us know at the beginning that at the end of the day, we are going to come up with resolutions. We are not going to implement those resolutions. We'll still take them to the executive arm. So what I'm suggesting, Mr. Speaker, is that the leadership should also interface with the executive to ensure that some of these resolutions, including past ones, are implemented. If they are implemented in a holistic way, in a structured way, and not the knee-jerk approach we are adopting to insecurity in this country. Yesterday, I was reading about KB State, Kwara State, and one other state where they said there will be air surveillance. So after this week, what happens to the air surveillance? Maybe next week, when we don't hear there was kidnapping in Niger State or in Kwara State, nobody will talk of air surveillance again. Whereas a holistic approach will make sure that the correct thing is done. So, Mr. Speaker, I'll end by imploring my colleagues, the leadership, to get in touch with the executive arm and ask them to do the needful, which is to chest out and implement the resolutions within they already have them, so that this country can be a place you can sleep and close your eyes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sticking to 5 minutes. I was actually regulating you. It started exactly 12:40, and by 12:45, you were done. For me, that is discipline. And yet, the content of your message, the clarity was there. I must commend the House for this solemn assembly. It is solemn in the sense that lives have been lost, and it is painful to all of us. How we are all seated here today and handling this issue shows Nigerians how concerned we are. The tone of our voice has reflected that. The calmness of the assembly have reflected that. I'm urging us to sustain that till we finish. And also urge you to sit to listen to others, especially those who sat to listen to you. It is important that Nigerians see that you are in this room. It's important that your constituents see that you are in this room, that there is nothing more important to you than the security of their lives and their properties. So even when you are tempted to go to committee meetings now, please cancel it and sit here. Please off your phone. Cancel it to sit here, because it is good for your constituents to see that you are in this room and you are talking about the security of their lives and their properties. Thank you very much. The next to speak, in the absence of Honorable Abedi, is Honorable Solomon. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Solomon Bob from Rivers State. First, I would like to commend the wisdom of leadership to have brought this session about since yesterday. This is about the first time in this 10th assembly I'm seeing such a robust discussion on any issue on this floor. And like I said yesterday, after we closed, I was talking to the Speaker and the Deputy that we should do more of this. What we are doing here today resonates very well with the general public. We've got a lot of commendation from yesterday to today. Now, regarding the issue at hand, I will take it up from where Gary was stopped. There is scarcely anything that will be said now that will be new. What has happened in this country?
Honorable Gaza,
What has
your
happened in this
constituents want to
country?
see you contributing, so sit down, your time is coming.
What has happened in this country is an abject lack of courage. Every president since 1999 till today has demonstrated an embarrassing lack of courage to deal with an issue that has festered. We are appeasing terrorists. We are protecting them. They engage in negotiation. You can't appease your way out of terrorism. Even here in this house, members come here and speak. They deliberately mischaracterize very serious violent crimes and call them banditry. Yes, two things can be true at the same time. You can have banditry, you cannot have terrorism. Terrorism is the most dangerous of the violent crimes we face in this country today. We have laws dealing with terrorism. We have laws dealing with kidnapping, with various stiff penalties. No one has been taken in. Just yesterday, we were told about, or this morning, as day broke, we were told about the rescue of some schoolgirls who were kidnapped in Kebbi. No one has been taken in for any kind of punishment. I can only surmise that the government negotiated. This is not how to run a country. They will come back, it's like a blackmailer. You pay money, they will come back for more. The government must up its game. You know, we fear to deal with issues in this country. Like Winston Churchill once said, when we face our fears, we gain strength, we gain courage, and we gain confidence in the doing. Yesterday, I listened to you when you made your presentation. You're talking about, we have weak institutions. Yes, but I will go further than that. We have weak people in those institutions. Merely having institutions and books are not enough. You need to have persons who have courage and conviction to do the right thing. Institutions could be books, could be these physical buildings that house places where action can be taken. But the most fundamental of those, the elements that can make the place work, are the human beings. The human beings are lacking in the will, in the courage, in the conviction. Nothing can happen. So it's about time we did the right thing. What's the right thing? The executive must ensure that, one, there is no iota of negotiation with those engaged in terrorism, kidnapping, and other violent crimes. Secondly, they must stop the policy of appeasement. We hear people come out publicly and say, don't touch terrorists. Don't touch them. They are our children. Don't touch them. In fact, one of them went as far as saying, budget for them. In what country? What the hell is this? Budget for them, as recently happened. So we can't allow this sort of behavior to continue in this country. Government must live up to its responsibility. Go after terrorists, go after kidnappers, go after any kind of violent criminals. What we have in my area, South, it's peculiar to us. We don't have anything near what we are witnessing in North Central, Northeast, and the rest of them, and Northwest. No. We have,
Okay, your time is up.
all right. Thank you, honorable colleagues. Thank you. Okay,
Thank you very much.
can I sit down?
Yeah, just 1 minute so they can round up.
All right. Well, so in the South, we don't have anything near what we are seeing in Northwest, Northeast, North Central. But we have our own, peculiar incidents of criminality. These are, of course, no society is entirely, totally crime-free. To that extent, we have, we deal with issues of criminality, but not anywhere near what we are facing. And this is what we
Honorable
are
Jaji,
focusing
get
on
ready.
is capable of bringing this country down. So that is why we're all concerned. We share your concern. But in respect to your concern, don't mischaracterize. When you see criminality, call it by its name. Yesterday, I don't know what I was talking about, calling a spade a spade. Don't call terrorism banditry. No. So I want to thank all of you for this small moment I've got. Thank you.
Thank you. We have succeeded in going through all the regions, the leaders, and we are now following the list. I've received a long list of members who want to speak. And it's the decision of the leadership to ensure that we give as many people as possible opportunity to say something. But we're going to, since we give the leadership of the regions 5 minutes, and seeing that this number is too wide, with your permission, we can reduce it to 3 minutes to enable us have more people to speak. Carried? Please, I'm going to call 10 names. And why I'm going to call that 10 names is to enable you prepare, so that it will not be sudden, so that you know you are the next person to speak. You summarize your thoughts within that 3 minutes. After that, I'll call another 10. Just like that, we'll progress. Carried? The first 10 that will be speaking are as follows. Honorable Jaji Aminu Sani, Ginger Onwusibe Honorable, Honorable Awalu Walabe, Honorable Bello Kauje, Honorable Omar Ajilo, Honorable Chike John Okafor, Honorable Hassan Shehu Hussein, Honorable Aboyega Isiaka, Honorable Mark Chidi Obeta, and Honorable Ahmed Muniru. It's not when you finish speaking, you leave your seat. Your constituents are watching. If you speak and listen to others speak as well. When we get to about number 5, I will announce the next 10 so that they will get ready to speak. Thank you very much. Okay, before Honorable Judge speaks, let's yield the floor to the leader who submitted his name, and Honorable Madaki. But Madaki is not here. Let him speak from the minority as well. The floor is yours, Ajajanze. After you, Honorable Judge, you take over. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, the leadership of this House, and the distinguished honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable George Ozodinobi. I represent the good people of Unjikoka and Ochadunukofia Federal Constituency. I'm from Anambra State. Mine is a short one. I want to speak to the sovereignty of this country, of which we have gradually lost. As a child, I can beat my chest today that I'll be one of the few here standing that saw war as a child. What is happening in Nigeria today, especially in the north, Nigeria is at war. We must call it that. We must wage what is happening in the north, confront it as we are fighting war. I want to speak Mr. Speaker, on Nigeria as a sovereign nation. The news of the capture of this and summary execution of Brigadier General M. Oba by Aswad really broke my mind. Back to where we stopped. If terrorism can move freely, terrorists can move freely like this, what is sovereign about Nigeria? Some people were shouting Nigeria is a sovereign nation. We don't need America. We don't need anyone. But Nigeria went to Congo. Nigeria went to Liberia through ECOMOG to help them out. We need help this time. Even if it's coming from Mali, from Chad, from Burkina Faso, we need help. Our children are being molested in the north. Our girls are being molested in the north. We were refugees during Nigerian Biafran War. As a child, I know how my parents suffered to keep me alive for that 3 years. But let us tell ourselves the truth. What kind of sovereignty allows terrorists to capture and kill a whole general like a common criminal? Because if terrorists can cross our borders at will, enter our villages at will, ambush military convoys at will, take entire towns at will, and now capture a brigadier general, then what exactly are we protecting with this so-called sovereignty? Is this sovereignty when terrorists are the ones controlling forests, highways, and communities? Is this sovereignty when commanders are killed and everyone stays silent and our children out of school? We opposed the US when they wanted to help Nigeria destroy terrorists. We shouted, don't interfere, don't touch our sovereignty. But what is left is to protect when terrorists already operate like a government inside a government, a country that cannot secure its land is not sovereign, it is vulnerable. This is a personal opinion. A country where terrorists can humiliate military is not sovereign. It is under siege. A country that refuses international help while soldiers die is not sovereign. It is stubborn to its own destruction. If a general can fall like this, then all of us are naked. This is not time for pride. Take entire towns at will, and now capture a brigadier general. Then what exactly are we protecting with this so-called sovereignty? This is not a time for pride. This is not a time for ego. This is time to ask, what is sovereignty? What? If it cannot save a single life of a Nigerian. Truly, a country of particular concern. As an opposition, I'm standing here to say that, Mr. President, I've observed over time since 99, he's a very courageous person. That's why in 99 in Lagos, I voted for him to be a governor. And I also saw his courage when, a minute after being sworn in, he removed the oil subsidy. Though timing was wrong, I saw his courage when he brought off 4 tax bill here, we passed. We saw his courage. And also I want to encourage him to extend that his courage. Today, our brother has been jailed for life, and the judge the judge who jailed him saw before him what you are distracting me. The judge who jailed him or Motosho saw things before him that made him to jail him for life. Good enough. But Mr. President has the greatest opportunity now. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm a lawmaker. I'm not a lawmaker. I'm not a judge. I'm a lawmaker. What I am saying today, that Mr. President
Leader, please. Leader, please.
Mr. President today has the greatest opportunity as a very courageous person, that today I know that
Point of order.
the counsels to Mazi Kalu Nwankwo has not gone for appeal. We are not appealing today. We are demanding today that within the ambits of law of these 60, 90 days, he has not gone
Point
to
of
court.
order.
For Mr. President to give him a pardon and release Nnamdi Kanu to us. I rest my case.
Okay, thank you, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, can we call Jaji to take the floor?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I came from the epicenter of banditry, kidnapping, Zamfara State. I represent Oronamoda Birumagaji constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Aminu Sani Jaji.
Please let us hear Honorable Jaji in silence. He has been quietly listening to others, and we are going to be quiet when we listen to you. Let us listen to him in silence so that his minutes will count. Honorable Jaji, you are protected.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I commend the wonderful initiative of the leadership of this House, because there is no better time to speak to ourselves than now. Mr. Speaker, I want to go straight to the point, looking at the fact that I was one time Chairman, House Committee on National Security and Intelligence. I believe that I can share some views and opinion that I think it matters to our today's debate. Looking at the security operation, Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues, we need to consider most of the intelligence information that are coming either to the military or to other security agencies that are the field. We only have one-time information that is being passed to either military or security agencies. But today, if you have one-time information, you need a on-time assessment and analysis to disseminate the information where necessary. This can only be achieved if today we have a pigeon center that can disseminate, dissect, and analyze the information that can be sent to where necessary. However, Mr. Speaker, a lot of the previous speaker has spoken about the issue of kinetic or non-kinetic. Mr. Speaker, the issue of non-kinetic is very, very necessary considering the challenges today. The security situation is worse but not bad. It's something that we can still curtail and control and manage it. I so much believe in what we have as a country. I so much believe in the military and other security agencies what they were doing. But however, Mr. Speaker, the security agencies, they need to review and amend the way and manner they are operating and managing this issue. Because this issue is not a conventional issue. It's non-conventional issue, and it must be dealt as such. So in doing so, if you could remember, somewhere around 2009, 2010, that is what we call predators or a faction. I don't want to say it the way it is precisely. Looking at this session, it's an open session, but sort of the issues that relate or to do with the security need to be dealt and then to give information when necessary and where necessary to relate any information, more especially there's some information can consider to be a classified one. But the Speaker, part of what we're supposed to do is we as the members of the National Assembly, by this initiative, going by all the aggregate opinion from yesterday to the date, I think the Parliament need to constitute a smaller committee so that some of the members that they didn't even contribute, but they have something to say. And then there are so many things that we need to do, considering the fact that these issues, there must be root causes to such issue. And if you want to deal with these root causes of that issue, you have to come up with the robust information and to be holistic in a way that people know that really we are doing what we're supposed to do. Because whatever we are doing today, there must be policy and legislative recommendation at the end of the day so that we can guide executive, that we can work together as a country so that we can triumph. However, Mr. Speaker, I want to, in the issue of non-kinetic, people are misunderstood the concept simply because issue of non-kinetic must be all-inclusive. It's not issue that either the national or the subnational is working at parallel to each other. It must be, they must work together in harmony to ensure that the non-kinetic is at place. But before non-kinetic, we must ensure that the kinetic measures or mechanisms that we employ it, and then we are able to suffocate and to weak the terrorists, the bandit, and what have you, so that we can get it. However, Mr. Speaker, in considering this, after if the House will all agree that really the Parliament need to consider a committee, but at the same time from the executive, they need to consider it to organize something like that so that they can review many opinions so that they can understand that there are so many things that today we need to understand. This thing is a venture, and this venture is about many mocking. And then most of the
are being raided, shut